If you are a high-earning woman over 40, following standard out-of-the-box retirement advice is actively endangering your financial future. The standard baseline formula you hear everywhere is flawed. It relies on a mathematical assumption of 40 years of continuous work history, followed by a short 15-year retirement. That math ignores the statistical reality of female longevity. Women live significantly longer, and half of all widows survive an additional 15 years after age 65. This side-by-side bar chart comparing baseline retirement needs illustrates the gap. Notice how the female projection shoots aggressively upward. That represents a projected $531,000 in lifetime healthcare costs for a woman in average health. When you expand the vertical axis to map those costs out, you see the actual requirement. You don't need a 15-year cushion. You need a fully funded 30-year financial survival plan. The math changes completely. Ignoring this extended timeline is the primary reason 36% of women in the UK are currently facing pension poverty as they approach retirement. Securing your financial future requires discarding generic guidelines and actively fixing 7 specific wealth-draining mistakes. Mistake number 1 is getting too conservative too soon by shifting your investments entirely into safe bonds the moment you hit your 50s. This line graph illustrates the safety paradox. While bonds offer lower daily volatility, they fail to outpace inflation over time, pulling your portfolio below the baseline survival threshold. When you project that stagnant growth trajectory across a 30-year female retirement span, the deficit becomes massive. The money will inevitably run out. Mistake number 7 compounds the problem, leaving free money on the table during your peak earning years. This happens when you fail to utilize age 50 catch-up contributions, or when you leave employer 401k matches incomplete. You are sacrificing tens of thousands of dollars in legally protected tax shelters merely to keep a marginally higher monthly take-home pay today. Preserving your wealth in your 40s means embracing calculated compound growth, not retreating into stagnant safety. Mistake number 2 is funding your adult children's expenses at the cost of your personal retirement accounts. The psychological driver here is powerful. You want to maintain immediate family harmony and ease the financial burdens of the next generation. But look at the mathematical trade-off. By losing your peak earning compound growth right now, you greatly increase the odds that you will become a financial burden to those same children when you turn 85. Mistake number 5 is relying entirely on marital assets without building individual breakup protection. Delegating total financial control to a partner and pausing your own career growth leaves you structurally vulnerable. Facing a 50% asset reduction during a midlife divorce leaves almost zero runway on the clock for you to recover the lost value. True family security and stability require you to ruthlessly protect your individual asset base first. Mistake number 3 is taking an unfunded career break for caregiving. Stepping away for 5 or more years without actively replacing your retirement contributions creates a massive compound interest dead zone in your portfolio. This split screen chart quantifies the damage. An unfunded 5-year break flatlines your portfolio, costing upwards of £70,000 in lost future returns, while a partner-funded break maintains steady growth. Mistake number 4 is emotional lifestyle creep during your peak earning years. The pressure of the sandwich generation is immense. Using your peak salary to acquire high-interest consumer debt, like luxury cars or retail therapy, is a common way to relieve the daily stress of caring for both aging parents and growing children. But accumulating high-interest liabilities happens exactly when you should be building up rolling capital, the accumulated cash you need to purchase long-term appreciating assets. Managing the middle-age squeeze requires fiercely defending your compound interest windows, not spending cash to temporarily escape the stress. Mistake number 6 is assuming baseline government healthcare will adequately cover your later years. Ignoring your future medical costs puts slightly more cash in your pocket today, but leaves you fully exposed to the statistical reality of that $531,000 bill for female aging costs. This infographic outlines your strongest defense, a health savings account. It acts as a critical triple tax-free protective buffer by offering pre-tax funding, tax-free growth, and tax-free withdrawals. Ignoring healthcare inflation is the single fastest way to drain a perfectly planned retirement portfolio. In your 40s and 50s, your priority must pivot from the size of your salary to the strength of your defense. If you are a high earner, you must mandate the use of catch-up tax shelters and employer matches immediately. If you are stepping into a caregiving role, you must enforce third-party partner contributions to your personal accounts during any forced career break. The required first step starts today. Calculate your net worth statement and automate your defensive transfers. Financial peace doesn't come from hoping you'll be fine. It comes from doing the math and refusing to play by a rulebook built for someone else.